Do you like electronic music? It's all around us today, like the oxygen in the air we breathe, from the top of the pops to the oddest sounds of the underground. But from where and when did it originate? 1980s England? What about 1970s Germany? Could it be 1960s America? 1950s Canada, perhaps? Surely no earlier than 1940s Egypt. And yet, here we are. If you're interested in discovering exactly how deep this rabbit hole goes, tune into SynKult every other Tuesday from 10 to midnight for a vista of electronic sound from the field's pioneers to its current cutting edge, all placed in historical and cultural context by me, your guide, DJ Victor Alls. From musique concrète to minimal wave, space rock to speed garage, acid house to ambient, you'll find it all on SynKult.
The following program may contain material which could be offensive to some listeners or inappropriate for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of SynKult here on Freeform Portland. As you heard, I'm your host, DJ Victor Alls. I'm going to jump straight into the music tonight without much preamble because of how I've got to structure this first programming block, which is a retrospective on and interview with Neat Beats. For those uninitiated, Neat Beats is the alias of Portland, Oregon-based producer Alvin Finner. His independently released 2011 album, Cosmic Surgery, rose to prominence in part through the YouTube algorithm. It's considered one of the few trip-hop classics this side of the new millennium. Neat Beats has released a few other works in the years since, including his 2015 album, Sleep Cycles, his 2016 EP, alternate soundtrack to Un Chien Andalou, and most recently, Primo Amore, as one half of a 2025 project of the same name. To begin, here are two tracks from Cosmic Surgery, titled This Machine Destroys Everything, followed by I Hope I Think of Bike Riding When I'm Dying.
A giant new telescope, capable of peering so far into space, so far back into time, so that the very beginnings of the universe may unfold.
sweetheart. Okay, remember what I showed you how to start?
You heard I Hope I Think of Bike Riding When I'm Dying, preceded by This Machine Destroys Everything from Neat Beats' 2011 album, Cosmic Surgery. One thing you may notice is that Neat Beats' approach to trip-hop doesn't discernibly channel the usual British suspects, namely Massive Attack, Portishead, and Tricky. Neat Beats has stated over the years that his entry point to this music was American producers like DJ Spooky, Prefuse 73, and Jay Dilla. This will come up as a talking point during the interview later in the hour. But first, here's the track 6 Cycles from Neat Beats' 2015 album, Sleep Cycles. The album was inspired by a period Neat Beats spent grappling with chronic insomnia.
So let's go ahead and start our set. Is there anything you want to say before we get started? Okay, so let's just go ahead and run some... Yeah, music. Yeah, that's right. So what's up first here?
That was 6 Hours by Neat Beats from his 2015 album Sleep Cycles. Following are Agonie and Trois heures du matin, both from Neat Beats' 2016 EP, alternate soundtrack to Un chien andalou. You heard Trois heures du matin and Agonie from Neat Beats' 2016 EP, alternate soundtrack to Un Chien Andalou. Un Chien Andalou is an extremely influential 1929 Spanish surrealist short film. If you haven't seen it or heard it, I can assure you that your favorite filmmaker has. Alvin Finner, aka Neat Beats, often wears his film influences on his sleeve, something evident on this EP and elsewhere in his catalog. We discuss this briefly in the interview with SynKult later, but first a cut from his most recent solo album, New Cascades from 2023. This is the track Mixolydian Rain on the Columbia. That was Mixolydian, Rain on the Columbia by Neat Beats from his 2023 album, New Cascades. And now for an interview with Neat Beats, aka Alvin Finner, the man behind the alias himself. Hi Alvin, nice to meet you, and good to be here on a sunny Portland evening.
Right, yes. Yeah.
It's the first question. What I always ask about any of these shows, what is your earliest musical memory?
Um, the earliest one I can think of was listening to Tchaikovsky's Violin Concerto with my parents in the car when we were driving from Arizona to California. I had to have been 4 or 5, but I had this really intense sort of uh, feeling listening to it. I could kind of hear and see this story happening. And it's an extremely technical piece, but I really was drawn into that when I was young.
Are you classically trained at all? Does your background in music come through band, rock, or personal exploration?
I was in band in high school. I played the clarinet, and that's the extent of my early musical training formally. In between high school and now, I've been in a bunch of bands. I've been in like shoegaze bands, mostly some punk bands. And I played drums there. I played bass. I sort of resisted learning actual music theory for a really long time because I was afraid it would corrupt my creative process. But in 2020, just before the pandemic hit, I started taking piano lessons because I really wanted to learn how to play Moonlight Sonata. I just had this vision, and I started taking lessons, and then COVID hit, and I sort of like learned enough to start practicing correctly on my own. And so I just kind of ran with it. It ended up being a lifeline during that like time of intense loneliness. And I grew a lot as a musician, learning music theory and piano. I don't translate that too much into my work as neat beats. I'm trying to venture out into some other areas, especially in ambient spaces. I'm working on a project right now that is ambient music based mostly around bass clarinet, which I got one of those a couple of years ago, and I've been utilizing that and also piano and some effects pedals, but really using knowledge of musical theory to help me translate my emotions and my ideas into something real.
That's interesting. With the clarinet, are you like close miking the clarinet, treating it and looping it, something of that nature?
Yes, although so far the thing that I've been most successful with is to have some kind of like sample going on in the background and like playing over that with clarinet. And also I have a solo piece that I've been working on that's just running clarinet through this great guitar pedal called Afterneath, and really playing with some of the like natural distortion that comes through passionately playing the instrument, right? You can really create a wide range of distortion and softness, and there's just like a huge range when you are making sound with your body and your breath and your voice. I've been lately connected to that visceral part of making music. That's not to say that I don't do any sample-based stuff, but maybe sometimes it's a little more exciting to talk about, I guess.
It's interesting. That makes sense. I've also seen like that's part of the push to go back to modular and analog synthesizer gear, sort of getting that spontaneity and not exactly knowing what your output will be. Robert Henke was talking about this recently with his latest album, for instance. But back to Neat Beats territory. One thing I've noticed about your music and what you've said online about musical influences and in past interviews is that a lot of them are American. A lot of these are American coordinates. DJ Shadow, Fly Low, even like kind of noise indie rock bands like the Microphones. How do you see your influence aligning with sort of what was happening in Bristol in the 90s, if at all?
I don't see, yeah, I don't have a lot of influence from Bristol in the 90s. Not directly, perhaps.
When did you first discover that stuff? Was it after you already began producing music of your own, or did you discover it earlier, but just not have it connect with you in the way it may have connected with others?
Discovering what?
Like, Massive Attack,
Oh, right.
Portishead, Smith and Mighty,
Oh,
Tricky's
okay.
solo work. Those guys.
Well, Portishead, I was familiar with them kind of from the outset. They were one of my earliest influences. Really just fell in love with Beth Gibbons' voice when I was a kid.
Haven't we all?
Yeah. I remember I was just so enraptured with it. And yeah, Massive Attack, I never really got too into them. I like them. I respect what they do, but I find them to be a little bit bland. I feel like a lot more drawn to experimental and hip hop. And I've found that the Brits aren't as in tune with that. Their stuff has always, at least in the trip hop scene, struck me as like a little bit too straightforward, or maybe more on the jazzier side. Like the exception would be like maybe Amon Tobin.
Sure.
But they are like so, I mean, like Amon Tobin in like the early 2000s.
Is he like Brazilian or something? South American? I could be incorrect about this.
I don't know. I thought that they were British, but yeah, I could be wrong. I'm trying to think of some other Brits that I really dig. There's this great SoundCloud artist called Jar Jar Jr. Ridiculous name. He's from this extremely small town in like Ireland, I think.
Jar Jar Jr., same Jar Jar as in Jar Jar Binks?
I think maybe Jar Jar Binks. Like, yeah, I know.
Take note, listeners.
But no, it's like his stuff is like extremely cool, like very jazzy. And he like, his thing is he'll remix like pretty popular rappers over like a lot of just sample based kind of hip hop beat stuff. He has a really great version of a MF Doom album that he remixed. Oh, it's so good. Maybe I'll send you a link later or something like that.
Sure, I'd be interested. I might put it on the show.
I'm like really geeking. He's one of those guys too that he like doesn't have albums and he's just kind of like a SoundCloud guy. But I was so blown away by his talent and like his connectedness with hip hop. It really took me for a loop when I found out where he's from. Just did not expect that. But yeah, in general, yeah, I guess American influences mostly. I mean, I pick up influences from a lot of other places, but maybe not so much in my earlier work. I was really focused a lot more on like the hip hop side of things and like the experimental side of things. And
sure.
Yeah.
And there's that one hip hop, well, not hip hop, actually, it's an Aphex Twin sample on, I think This Machine Destroys Everything from Cosmic Surgery, like in the music video, right? Where you had this sort of pantomime of like some American homeboy basically then has his car destroyed by Richard D. James's limo, and then he does the whole window liquor dance.
Yeah.
If the listeners don't know that, you should look it up. It's a great video. It's on YouTube. Anyway, sorry, segue. Right. So You've got a well-respected trip-hop playlist on Spotify, I think upwards of 600 saves, if I recall, that seems to intentionally avoid many of the foundational names that are associated with the genre, and some like Lucine and Amon Tobin are best known for other styles of music like IDM, and they only have a couple trip-hop songs. What were your thoughts putting this together? Was it just kind of music you liked that was trip-hop, or were you trying to say, let's decenter the UK, decenter Bristol? Kind of
Oh no,
spitballing here. Any thoughts on that?
this was literally just stuff that influenced me because I would get that question a lot, and yeah, I wanted to just put something together that like the music that I was listening to a lot when I wrote like Cosmic Surgery, when I wrote Sleep Cycles. I mean, less so with my most recent work. Although I came out with this record called Primo Amore, and that I just sampled a ton of like it's me and my friend's project, and we sampled a ton of Italian movie soundtracks from the 60s and 70s, which is a gold mine of really interesting music and a really interesting time and place for music, because there are all these like really modern, well, contemporary influences at the time with like funk and breakbeat and like, Serge Gainsbourg kind of like stuff and psychedelic stuff, but also some weird traditional Italian music mixed in. So you'll have some tracks that have like a really crazy funky beat with like a harpsichord in it.
It's like, wacky.
What? Yeah. But it occupies a really interesting sonic landscape. But yeah, when it comes to that playlist, it's truly just stuff that I listened to and gravitated towards. I think I should maybe mention that I didn't really have, like growing up, I didn't really have people around me that listened to the same kind of music that I did. Like, I didn't have any friends who were into trip hop really. Like all my friends were into different kinds of music. And even the people that I played shows with, the closest thing that I got were like people who were really into Brain Feeder, right?
Right.
Which was great, but it's different than like the boom bap stuff that I have tended to gravitate to as an artist, as neat beats and stuff. And so that might be why I don't have as traditional of a trip hop music taste.
That makes sense. Touching back on Primo Amore, well, one thing is I've noticed that film often comes up in your work. You've got the 2016 EPA soundtrack for Un Chien de Loup. Obviously, Primo Amore is influenced by 70s and 60s Italian like action and horror film. I also spy what appears to be Louis Feuillard's Le Vampire in the artwork. The woman in like the leather singlet, whatever you'd want to call that outfit.
Right.
Is this something do you have like a love of film that you've touched on a lot in your music, do you feel, or is this like kind of a one-off concept?
The Primo thing is maybe more of a one-off concept. I've always been drawn to the idea of an album telling a story, and I've always been really engaged with music that I can hear some images in, maybe. Also just like dramatic music, I think I'm really drawn to. And I enjoy reflecting that. I also have really enjoyed the process of trying to put music to film. Last year, or I guess 2024, I did a live rescore of Son of the White Mare. And that was such a pleasure to do. That film is extremely psychedelic and very beautiful. And the original soundtrack is just terrible also. So it was kind of fun to like go through and do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have a super good answer for that other than like I like films.
That's all right. That's a very good answer, I think.
Hmm.
I read one of your early interviews and you mentioned you didn't really like doing live gigs. This was like 2015. Seems that's changed somewhat, particularly with your other forms of live music, with your clarinet, for instance. Are there any live gigs you've done you've really enjoyed, like one that stands out as being most rewarding or most memorable?
Um, Playing live as Neat Beats is really funny because I have like I feel like it's very contrived because all of my music is put together on a computer and sequenced out when I create it. Like there's very, 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 very little of my music that I actually play. Like at any point in time. Like sampling itself, maybe you can count creating like a live loop or something, or tapping out a beat on a sampler or something like that. But when I finish my work, it's all extremely structured and very thought out. So when I play a live show, I'm basically taking something that I have completed and like pulling it apart and trying to introduce some chaos into it. But it's still all completely controlled, right? Like I decide how much I can mess up during my live sets.
Hmm.
And I don't feel like it's very interesting to watch. It's maybe another reason why I'm drawn to the interplay of like film and music, because the best shows that I ever play are ones where I have like a really good visual element going on behind me and I like don't feel like I have to push a bunch of buttons like really enthusiastically, right? I kind of think that like a lot of electronic live performance is a little bit cheesy too, because I kind of know how the sausage is made. And I'm just like, all right, buddy, like you're just like turning that knob and like, you know, just kind of dancing to it, but like you're just like maybe adjusting your like high EQ just like a little bit at a time or something. And I'm just like, nah, you know, whatever.
Right.
Um, when it comes to satisfying shows, though, I really like uh, just playing weird gigs. I love playing house shows, but the the Son of the White Mare one was great. That brought in a lot of strange components to it. I did play bass clarinet for that one. I played a little bit of synthesizer live and like had some more just like experimental stuff. It was a little bit out of my normal like milieu as an artist. So that one was great. I also played this show uh, at a gay bar in Paris last year or 2024. I'm still like in 2025 mode. But that was really fun, but like really kind of dinky. Like I was just kind of like sitting in the corner, just like playing on my sampler. But that was just like a weird vibe. It was just fun and strange.
I got to ask, as somebody based in Portland, how does one just get a gig at a gay bar in Paris where you did somebody see on the street said, "Hey, that's Neat Beats. That's our
Oh,
guy
no.
Alvin. We got to have you play for us.
No,
S'il
no,
vous
it's
plaît,
just
s'il vous plaît."
friends. It's just friends that I have, you know.
Okay.
But I do like I have met a lot of people through my music. Some of my best friends I've met through my music. Uh, but when it comes to um, like getting shows and stuff, it's kind of hit or miss, you know. Um, I don't really have a strong uh, pull as far as playing live shows goes. Uh, my audience is pretty distributed, I guess you could say, which is fine. Um, because I'm also like not super into playing live all the time. But that
Sure.
being said, I'm like saying that, but I'm like probably gonna play a show at Turn here in like the next few weeks. Probably gonna do some bass clarinet stuff. and I am trying to like break into doing some ambient work, and I really do want to have that be a more live focused thing and more in-person focused thing. I mean, I also kind of want to explore some musical avenues that take me like off of my computer and away from the safety of programming and quantization and all that good stuff, and into some more like some rougher but I don't know, more visceral spaces. I hope I'm not disappointing you too much by like
That makes
talking so
sense.
much about like other things that I'm doing of like yeah. But anyway,
It's good to get a picture of you as an artist with multiple other interests and side projects, and a sense of development. Also, particularly as somebody who's most known for an album you did 15
like
years
15
ago.
years ago, yeah.
Not wanting to be defined by that, I imagine, is somewhat important. Speaking of which, Cosmic Surgery in 2011 was an unexpected hit. Did you ever think you could parlay that into a full-time career as a touring musician, or is this something that interested you, or maybe interests you today?
Um, hmm. I There was a time where I thought I might be able to do that. Uh, but that would that plan was like I'm gonna move to Ann Arbor and like buy a house for $500 and like
Hmm.
be cold and hungry all the time and like try to parse this into a full-time thing. Um, it would take a lot and it would be pretty stressful. I don't really know if I'd ever want to do that. And I don't know. If something like that happened, I wouldn't turn it down, but like the gap between that reality and like where I am now is still like just so far, so distant. Um, and I guess if like this might be interesting to people, but as a kind of lefty person and a person who likes talking about wages and stuff like that, like I usually make about $300 a month from Spotify, and then like a smattering from other streaming and online services. I pressed 500 records in 2024 and I just sold out of all of them. I pressed them in July 2024 and I just sold out of all of them like in December. I spent about like $5,000 pressing them. And I think all in all, I made like $10,000. So like out of 500 records, like probably made around $10, probably less on each one. And like, yeah, selling 500 records is a lot of work and it takes a long time. And it's like, maybe like a couple months of money
Sure.
if you stretch it. You know what I mean? Like, so the gap between doing it full time and like where I'm at now is super far.
Decent margins on vinyl, but the throughput typically isn't good enough unless you're a very large artist and have your vinyl selling in Target, which is, you can get that nowadays.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would be easier or harder in 2011. Maybe more CDs selling, but less vinyl.
I
The
don't
music
know.
economy then was also not great, but that's different sorts of not great, I suppose.
I think we exist in a really funny time in music because we, like, for a while before like Spotify got ultra shitty and like so monetized and like chock full of AI. I mean, don't get me started on how terrible of a company they are, but like there was a while where a person could get global distribution for like $50 and be sort of on a level playing field with everybody else. and there wasn't like this industry of people trying to get you on really popular playlists, and you didn't really need a label to like get your music out there like as much. I don't know, it just felt a little bit easier in like the early 2010s than it does now, just because like streaming stuff was so new, and like like people hadn't really figured out how to like squeeze every drop out of it, maybe. And now like we had this vision of like what a more equitable world could look like, just briefly, and then it just like got sucked back into like a shitty capitalist cycle again.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's still like good stuff. Like Bandcamp is great, right? And that company is awesome, and they do really good work, and they've been a super supportive platform, and they do let you do global distribution for free, right? Like beforehand, you would need a label if you were going to get your music heard by somebody in another country. And now it just happens sometimes.
Weren't they bought by private equity 2 years ago? I'm not sure anything ever changed on the, at least not on the customer side.
I mean,
they
they
did on
could
your
have
side.
been. I haven't kept up on the news of that.
But it could change now. Any
I mean,
day.
they're at the very least, they still do good stuff like Bandcamp Fridays and stuff. So it seems like they haven't been totally taken over by horrible instincts. I mean, I get really, so like this last year, I got really into Cindy Lee. Are you familiar?
I am not.
Oh, Cindy Lee is great. But it's, I mean, it's not electronic music, but it's really good. It got a lot of traction, and it's like a Bandcamp only release. They didn't do any streaming stuff at all. So yeah,
I'll look into her.
Mm-hmm.
I feel this is in some ways a callback to a few years ago. I think this kind of hit its peak around 2020, 2021, but there was an era where lo-fi hip-hop beats, whatever that means, was all the rage. And like the stuff you're making a decade before that could in some ways be classified like as a actually good version of that.
Thank you.
I don't know. I guess the ways musical labels kind of get taken up and made into an easily marketable pablum. I think the same thing was true of downtempo 25 years ago. Taken off the backs of, well, I guess the more lounge-oriented side of trip hop, the one that was less break heavy. Have you had, I don't know, any thoughts on this? Have you had any brushes with this over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely privy to the lo-fi trip hop, or like, yeah, sorry, lo-fi hip hop thing. Although I think it's funny because like when I think lo-fi hip hop, I think like early Gucci Mane, like, or some of the like really strange like stuff coming out of like Houston in like the early 2000s, or like Trick Daddy or something, where it's like you have like an album cover with like some like it'll be like the rapper and then like some dark clouds behind them, and then like obviously word art like
Right.
say the album and stuff, and then their like production would be like just crazy. Like they would have, you know, like the beat would start and then you'd hear like 5 messages about like you know, like this is the Traptacular, and like there would be like 5 of those, right, or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Do you listen to a lot of trap?
I don't know. Mostly electronic. Most of the hip hop I listen to is like
do it. You gotta get
old
into
Miami
it.
bass and electro funk from the Bronx.
Okay. Anyway, are you familiar with like what dubstep used to be before like Skrillex and stuff?
I'm wearing my Deep Medi t-shirt, so yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's, it kind of hit me like that, where I'm like when people started talking about dubstep, like the, you know, wah, 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 and I was like, where's the dub music? Where's the dub part of dubstep?
Right.
And then, yeah, lo-fi hip hop, I'm like, where's the hip hop? Where's like the low fidelity part of this, man? Anyway, yeah, I think it's fine. Like, lo-fi hip hop is fine. It's a little bit like high fructose corn syrup, like music, but
It's a good tagline.
thanks. Yeah, it's I just find it like a little bit bland, and people it's like music for people who don't really like music, I think.
Sure.
There are good artists that are like very much in that vein. Like was it Idealist is pretty good. They have just
them,
like
I think. Are
like
they
a
local?
minimal, I don't know if they're minimal. It's just like somebody I came across a while ago, and I was like, this is all right. They have like a very minimal kind of piano thing and beats, and then like sometimes they'll do like a little like rain background, like but it's cool. It's like it's good for what it is. And also like as I've gotten older, I've moved away from any kind of pretensions around music. Like I kind of embrace the fact that I listen to like a lot of stuff that most people would find pretty grating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay with that. And so I'm like, I'm cool with whatever people like. Some stuff I just like don't find very engaging. There's not a lot that I am actively hostile toward. There's a couple, but not a lot.
Well, sure. I think everyone has a couple bugbears, which they, I don't know, might get in an argument with friends over if they heard them at a bar or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fun to be a hater.
We're getting down to the wire, though. A few questions left. Lightning round. One is, what's next for Neat Beats and or Primo Amore?
I think ambient music. I'm working on a project called True Ashes.
True Ashes. Is that on Bandcamp yet or anywhere else?
Nowhere yet, but it's
When
coming.
do you think it will be on Bandcamp or somewhere else?
It'll be on Bandcamp for sure. TBD on if I want to put it up on any streaming services.
Honestly, understandable.
Yeah, kind of trying to pull away from that a little bit.
And second question, just kind of a thank you for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to say about your work or artistic process that you haven't had a chance to?
I want to, I guess, shout out a couple of my friends, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, check out my homies Casual Decay and Lemon Jaya. And also want to give some love to Tyler Baumgartner, who's working on some shoegaze music right now.
That's the other half of Primo Amore, right?
Yeah, they're half of Primo Amore. It's like my super long-time friend. I think we've been friends for like 12 years or something like that. But yeah, just a brilliant musician. I have a lot of great friends, and like just Portland is such a wonderful scene. I love it here. So
absolutely is. And of course, Jar Jar, what's his name?
Jar Jar Jr. Yeah.
Yes, Jar Jar Jr.
I'll
Please
send
do.
you some links. Yeah, I think there's probably some stuff that I could share with you that I bet you'll dig on a lot.
Sick. All right. Well, until next time, this has been DJ Victor Alls of SynKult and Alvin as Neat Beats. DJ Victor Alls, and this is SynKult, coming to you from Freeform Portland, KFFP LP Portland, KFFD LP Beaverton, and on the web at freeformportland.org. Now, back to the program. And there you have it. Not the strongest interviewing etiquette on my part. I apologize. It had been a long, draining day at work, and I'd almost considered rescheduling the interview because of it, but Alvin was a gracious and articulate interviewee, so he made up the difference. Next for the DJ mix I promised at the beginning of the show, which winds its way from jungle to dissonant ambient to microhouse to old school dubstep, only to end on the more harmonic drone side of ambient. I'm kicking it off with Pistola from Alvin's most recent collaborative project as Primo Amore. This is the album he mentioned was inspired by and which samples from old Italian pulp film scores. Enjoy the ride.
Trickle rhythm wise, 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 wise. Trickle rhythm wise, 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 wise.
There is some money in the bongo music. 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 There is
listening to Switch by ASC and Skanna from 2025. Before it was Desert Moon Continuum by Coco, Bryce, also from 2025. Preceding that was Bongo Music by More Rockers, the drum and bass side project of Peter D. and Rob Smith of Smith & Mighty notoriety. It was released in 1998, but was likely produced several years earlier because this album came from was kind of a compilation. It's a long story. The mix began with Pistola by Neat Beats and Primo Amore from their 2025 album, Primo Amore.
Switch.
This is Skidoos by Akufen from his seminal 2002 microhouse album My Way. Before it was P6 by Unnayannaa from 2017. That's spelled Unnayannaa. Beginning this block was Wurmloch by Conrad Schnitzler and Schneider TM from their 2016 collaboration under Schnitzler's Construct series.
Yes, me know me reggae music. Bang 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 bang. Me song get me reggae music. Me tell you say me reggae music, them a play. This song gonna sound on me make them music. This and this song gonna make me make them music. This and this song music make me jump in, make me
listening to Hard to Food by Quest from 2006, with one of the most iconic bass licks in original UK dubstep. Before it was Iration Steppa's mix of Dub Attack by Dino from 2009. Beginning this block was Really Don't Mind by Luomo, Sasu Ripati's microhouse alias, off his 2006 album Paper Tigers. I've been really getting back into Luomo lately, and this is an excellent deeper cut from his discography.
spiritual thing. Rastafari mean God. And the music itself, reggae music, I penetrate and I deliver the message. Right? And it's spiritual. Most of the things when reggae deal will come from out of the Bible. See, so if you link it, the herb is for your meditation. And when you are meditating, you can feel wide.
Riding black car, rolling through the street in a them
This is Particularly Dangerous Situation by Ian Wellman, an excellent recent album of climate crisis ambient that I might speak about further on a future episode of SynKult here on Freeform Portland. Preceding it was Gangstas with a Z, cause that's cooler, by Pinch from his seminal 2007 dubstep album, Underwater Dance Hall. Starting the block was Reefer Max by Horsepower Productions from 2018. After this will be She Peers and Sees by the late great Lucette Bourdon from her 2009 album, Breath of Grace. As always, I'm your host, DJ Victor Alls. Please enjoy, and good night.